whenever unemployment rates reach, let's say, 5%, how much legal immigration should we allow? And if it should be reduced, by how much?
I came prepared to talk about organ donors. Let me put it this way: is I see it. I don't see the system working in such a way that we automatically adjust the immigration quotas for the year according to the employment quotas. Realistically, I don't see that as working, because immigration should be a long-term pattern and a system that allows those to come in the country either as to become citizens or simply on a worker's permit. And I don't believe that should be subject to the ups and downs of the unemployment numbers. However, I do believe we need to do two things. One is we need to enforce the laws we have so that it's legal immigration we're actually discussing, and that illegal immigration has dropped back down to the background radar of the effect on our culture, as well as we need realistic. I'm not a no-growth person. I believe that immigration has been good for our country, legal immigration controlled to the proper limits. But I can't discuss with you the precise numbers today.
I'd like to thank our audience for that question.
It actually is, believe it or not.
I'm going to talk about immigration a little bit in general. I'm the son of an immigrant. I'd like to think my dad was an asset to America. As the son of an immigrant, I'd like to think I'm an asset to America. I think Republicans should be the pro-legal immigration party. I think that we need to make sure that one of the few proper functions of government, which is to secure our borders and keep terrorists, drug dealers, criminals out of the United States, that needs to be done, and that needs to be done right. Second, we need to make it easier for the people we do want to come to the United States. That you can get an advanced engineering degree from an American university and not have a green card stapled to it is beyond me, that we create that talent and export it. I think that we need to have a non-immigrant guest worker program. I support generally something called the red card solution. I would recommend to you. And the last thing is we need to make sure that people who come to the United States, including those who come legally, but especially those who are here illegally, are not burdening our social safety net. Those are intended for Americans. So that's my quick overview on immigration perspective.
Just 30 seconds. I don't disagree with you on anything except the red card. I've looked at that program, and I think it's got it upside down. It's a little too close to the amnesty concept for me. And I do question its functionality of the qualification systems in the home country. But I think we need to keep discussing just what will work, because immigration, legal immigration, is good for our country.
Let's all say that President Obama has lessened the immigration problem by ruining our economy. That's not what we want.
Excuse me, but now we have to.
Okay, it's your turn next time.
That's all right. You get 30 seconds at the end.
I'll stick to
When we
the
do it
format.
the other way around, you can have the 30 seconds to respond, and you can go back to this if you want to. Okay,
There you go.
here's the thing. The Tea Party Day in America, there's a great deal of debate as to whether or not it is effective, still as effective as it used to be, what role it should play in Republican Party politics. What's your view of the Tea Party, and exactly what do you think has been its positive aspects and what negative aspects, if any?
Well, I think that having people come out from wherever they've been and object to what's been happening to our economy is wonderful. I think for people to say, government, you are too large. Government, you are spending too much. Government, you are interfering in our lives. And for people to be at events like this, that's inspirational to me, and it's a wonderful thing. I'm running to represent the 2nd Congressional District. It's about 750,000 people. I'm trying to appeal, and I expect to appeal to a broad base of people. I think the Tea Party has brought a tremendous energy to the conservative movement, and I thank you and applaud you for doing those things. I think that it's about time that we had grassroots action on the conservative side. So thank you so much for what you do this for the Tea Party. I fully support those goals.
I remember that first big rally down at the Capitol, what was that, 2010? 2009, wasn't long ago, a vast sea of people whose simple message was, we've been taxed enough already, which means government has grown bigger than it ought to be. And I thought to myself, where have you been for the last 10 years? We've been slogging away on this, and I know that everybody's had that sense of wanting to be involved. Well, finally, we've found our feet here. I feel a perfect part of the Tea Party movement. If you look at my record in the legislature, currently this last year I was the taxpayer champion for Colorado Union of Taxpayers, which means I hold the line on spending, which is the #1 thing we need to do. Now, we'll have a wide variety of points where we might have a little disagreement here, a little one there, but if we agree on the basic point of freedom and liberty, the principles that our government was founded on, we can move forward and make that difference. I'm going to go back and just wrap it up on this one thing, and that's what I opened with. My job tonight is not just to convince you that I'm the guy to run for Congress. My job is to convince you that you are the people to win that seat in Congress and to make that difference in the presidential race and every other local race so that we can put the Tea Party principles at work in Denver and in Washington.
Okay, very good. This is a little bit, it's questioning a tiny bit in the weeds in terms of, I mean, whoever wrote this has a much better understanding probably of financial issues than I do. It talks a lot about derivatives. And the only reason why I'm going to use this is because, in fact, derivatives are in the news. As you know, the Salomon Brothers just declared a couple of days ago a $2 billion loss in their portfolio. Portfolio is different than their bank. There's a commercial bank, there's an investment bank side of it. They declared, and it's probably going to go higher, maybe $2.4 billion. They declared that loss in their investment bank side. Okay? Now, these are not investment dollars. These are not dollars that people put into the bank in their savings or anything else. This is on the investment side, not the commercial bank side. But there is now a call to impose something called the Volcker Rule, and they're asking Congress to do this. The Volcker Rule, part of Dodd-Frank. Again, this gets a little confusing, and it's got to deal with derivatives. The question from the audience is whether or not you feel that these derivatives, would you support a bill that required derivatives to be issued and regulated as true insurance without commensurate loss reserves that are required? We get in a little bit again. It's a kind of a complex issue, but it boil it down to this. Do you believe there's more need for regulation in the financial community? Do you believe that the $2 billion loss prompts some sort of intervention by regulators, and would you regulate derivatives to a greater extent than is presently the case?
I'd start out with saying that when the federal government gets in and tries to fix all the problems, they make more problems than they have gone after fixing. And when it comes to the Volcker Rule, that's concerning the issue of what is hedging and what is illegal betting, you might say, on the market. Because hedging, in terms of a financial institution trying to find some mechanism to buffer themselves from some risk, is appropriate. But when the government gets involved in trying to do the micromanagement, I've never seen it work yet. So my general answer is no. That's not to say that it's to be a laissez-faire, complete free market, because when it comes to financial instruments, when it comes to securities, when it comes to the insurance